Chosen one, you're not the same as before. You will learn. You're not the same as before. And that's a divine sign. You've outgrown where you used to be. The things that once distracted you no longer hold the same power. The situations that once made you question yourself now awaken the clarity within. The people who once made you feel small now feel distant from the world you're stepping into. You're no longer the version of yourself that needed validation to feel valuable. You're evolving, rising, and becoming aligned with a new kind of strength, one that cannot be taken or imitated. You are learning, and this process will reveal everything that was once hidden behind confusion, pain, and misalignment. This is your divine school of becoming. Every lesson will have meaning. Every shift will have purpose. You are no longer who you were, and that's the breakthrough. Watch this video until the very end. There is a reason you found this message at this exact moment. Divine timing is not an accident. And write your warmest wishes and 777 in the comments. When you write your wish, you activate it. You breathe life into it. The universe hears you, aligns with your frequency, and begins to move in your favor. This isn't just a video, it's a portal. Your wish is not too big. It is on its way to you, and something powerful is shifting even as you speak it out. So let your heart speak. Let your soul believe. Now, chosen one, like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and let's begin. You're not the same because you were never meant to remain unchanged. The old version of you had to fall away. The pain you went through didn't come to destroy you. It came to expose what you could no longer carry into your future. You had to outgrow certain habits. You had to unlearn survival mode living. You had to let go of the identities that were built around fear, rejection, and scarcity. What you're becoming now is rooted in truth, your truth. And that truth is powerful, undeniable, and sacred. You've had seasons where you questioned whether you were even progressing. You doubted your purpose, your worth, and your direction. But what you didn't see was how much shedding was happening beneath the surface. You were unlearning, undoing, detaching from energies that never served your highest calling. That's why some friendships faded. That's why some doors closed. That's why your spirit felt tired. It wasn't a weakness, it was a spiritual detox. You were being refined. You were being prepared for clarity. And now, you will learn what it all meant. You're entering a time where everything hidden is about to make sense. What you thought was a delay was actually divine defense. What looked like silence was actually deep preparation. You weren't being overlooked, you were being repositioned. The higher version of you was being sculpted, piece by piece, in the dark. And the reason it felt lonely was because not everyone could walk with you where you were going. Some paths require isolation, so you can hear the voice of destiny without noise. You were in the cocoon, but now you're beginning to emerge. Your wisdom has increased. You've started to see patterns. You're no longer reactive to every storm. You're learning to observe, to listen to your intuition, to wait on divine instruction. You don't rush like you used to. You don't beg like you used to. You're grounded. This is what maturity looks like. It's not just about age, it's about energy. Your soul has aged, and with that growth comes divine discernment. You will learn how to navigate with vision now, not fear. There is a difference between reacting and responding. The old you used to react from pain, insecurity, and emotional wounds. The evolved you responds from alignment, peace, and divine awareness. You've been doing the inner work. You've looked at the parts of yourself that were once hidden in the shadows. You've cried, healed, and released. And now, your spirit is clearer. That's why certain things no longer affect you. They no longer belong to the frequency you've stepped into. You will learn that silence is not weakness. The new you doesn't explain everything to everyone. You don't seek to be understood by those who were never meant to walk beside your calling. You're okay with being underestimated. You're okay with being alone. Because you've come to realize that solitude is where the divine whispers are the loudest. In your stillness, you're being shown instructions. And soon, those who questioned your path will have to witness your rise. Your glow is different now. It's not from external approval, it's from internal power. Your worth is no longer based on performance or people-pleasing. You've reclaimed your narrative. You've rewritten the story. The past no longer controls your steps. Yes, it shaped you, but it no longer defines you. You walk with a new posture. There's a calmness in you now, a grace, a quiet fire that cannot be put out. This is evidence of your transformation. You will learn that not every battle is yours to fight. Some things are handled spiritually. The new you knows when to speak and when to remain silent. You know when to move and when to stand still. You don't chase, because what's meant for you now comes naturally. You don't force, because you've learned how to align. This is the reward of growth, peace that passes understanding. Your energy is different because your heart is healed. You no longer carry bitterness. You've forgiven, not for others, but for yourself. You've released the weight of resentment, and in its place, you've received divine clarity. Now, your spirit attracts what is true, what is destined, what is whole. Because you've done the work, you're now ready to receive from a place of wholeness, not desperation. This is why certain doors are now opening. This is why favor is beginning to find you. The new you is aligned with opportunities that the old you would have rejected or ruined. You're learning how to walk with wisdom, how to build without burning out, how to listen without judging, how to move in purpose without needing praise. These are divine skills, and they were born through pain, reflection, and surrender. You will learn that strength is not just about endurance, it's about discernment. The strength to walk away, the strength to rest, the strength to trust, the strength to be still when every part of you wants to react. That's the kind of power you now carry. And it shows. People can feel it. They may not understand it, but they can sense it. And that's because your aura has shifted. Your presence is different. You are not the same. You're learning that your voice has power. You no longer need to scream to be heard. Your energy speaks volumes. Your presence shifts rooms. Your clarity silences confusion. Your peace calms storms. You're not trying to be everything to everyone. You're focused on being everything to your purpose. And because of that alignment, life will begin to respond differently to you. The universe recognizes energy, and yours has been recalibrated. You will learn that your value was never tied to your productivity. You are valuable because you exist, not because of what you produce for others. The new you doesn't overgive just to feel worthy. You've learned boundaries. You've learned rest. You've learned balance. This is your divine reset. You're creating from overflow now, not exhaustion. You're not the same, and that's your blessing. That's your breakthrough. That's your divine shift. And even if people try to drag you back into the version of you they remember, you won't fit into those old molds anymore. The new you has outgrown the old story. You're writing a new chapter, one rooted in power, purpose, and divine revelation. Let this be your confirmation. You're evolving, you're healing, you're ascending, and everything you're learning now is shaping the life you were always meant to live. Keep going. Keep growing. The real you is being revealed. You've been through storms that would have drowned most, but instead of sinking, you learned how to breathe underwater. You discovered that your spirit was built to endure, to rise, and to illuminate even in the dark. You are not the same because you stopped surviving and started transforming. That shift, that internal change, no one can take that from you. You've become a vessel of divine experience. And this journey? It's about to teach you everything the old version of you couldn't comprehend. You no longer ask, "Why is this happening to me?" Now you ask, "What is this trying to teach me?" That right there is elevation. That's a sign that you're walking into the role you were designed for. The old you sought to escape discomfort, but the evolved you understands that discomfort is where miracles are birthed. Pressure created your strength. Pain introduced you to your power. Confusion made you seek divine truth. This is how you grew. This is how you evolved. And now you will learn how to protect your peace. The old you allowed chaos to be your norm. You tolerated things that drained you, mistreated you, ignored your spirit. But now you recognize your inner sanctuary. You guard it. You preserve it. Because you know your energy is sacred and not everyone deserves access. This boundary is your protection. It's not arrogance, it's wisdom. And with this wisdom, you will learn how to operate from overflow, not depletion. You will learn that your intuition is not just a hunch. It's divine intelligence. Every nudge you felt was a whisper from higher realms, guiding you out of danger, pulling you away from illusions, and drawing you closer to your true path. The old you second-guessed these whispers. The new you honors them. Trusting your inner knowing will open doors no logic ever could. Because you are being led, not by noise, but by divine signal. Your relationships are shifting too. The new you no longer tolerates shallow connections. You crave depth, truth, and spiritual alignment. You'd rather sit in solitude than force conversations that drain your spirit. This is why people are falling away. It's not a loss, it's a divine clearing. As you rise in frequency, only those who match your energy can remain. You're not abandoning them. You're just refusing to abandon yourself anymore. You will learn that being misunderstood is a form of protection. Not everyone is meant to get you. Some people must misjudge you so that you don't depend on their approval. It's not rejection. It's redirection. It's refinement. It's God teaching you that your purpose cannot be explained to those who lack the eyes to see. So you've stopped oversharing. You've stopped explaining your every move. You walk in silence now, but with thunder in your steps. You walk like you're carrying destiny, because you are. The new you doesn't chase anymore. You attract. You magnetize, because your frequency is pure. You're not forcing anything into alignment. If it's meant, it will come. If it's not, it will fall away. This surrender isn't weakness. It's mastery. It's faith. It's divine detachment. You know what's yours can't be missed. You no longer cling. You no longer beg. You walk with open hands and a full heart. You've stopped entertaining versions of yourself that were designed to keep others comfortable. You've stopped playing small to make others feel big. You've stopped shrinking your voice, your ideas, your dreams. You're no longer hiding. The light in you can no longer be dimmed. That's why your presence is becoming uncomfortable for those who still live in shadow. Don't let that distract you. Keep shining. Keep rising. Keep becoming. You will learn that silence is your sanctuary. Not everything requires a reaction. The new you finds power in the pause. You observe. You discern. You choose how and when to engage. This calmness? It came from deep battles you've won in private. It's a badge of honor that chaos no longer controls your mood. That's growth. That's grace. That's a new level of self-mastery. Your creativity is returning. Ideas are flowing again. Passion is sparking. Doors are unlocking. Why? Because you've cleared the noise. You've stopped living in survival mode. Now you're living in surrender. And when your energy is clear, your vision becomes precise. You see what needs to be done. You feel what's aligned. And this is when life starts cooperating with you instead of resisting you. You will learn how to rest without guilt. The old you equated rest with laziness, but now you understand that rest is revelation. In rest, you receive downloads. In stillness, clarity arises. You're no longer addicted to busy. You're devoted to purpose. And purpose knows the rhythm of flow. It's not rushed, not forced, not scattered. It's rooted, intentional, sacred. You've stopped watering dead plants. You've stopped reviving what doesn't want to live. You've let go of people, habits, and places that were delaying your emergence. And though it hurt, it also freed you, because you are not meant to be stuck in cycles that dishonor your spirit. You are meant to rise, and rise you are. You will learn that peace is your new metric. If it costs your peace, it's too expensive. You no longer chase status, attention, or validation. Your currency is peace, clarity, and authenticity. And because of that, you move differently. You love without attachment. You give without expectation. You exist without apology. You're learning to let things unfold. You're not rushing divine timing. You trust the process. You understand that just because it hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. Delays are not denials. They are divine preparations. And this version of you? It knows how to wait with grace. It knows that what's meant cannot pass you by. You will learn how powerful your voice is. Not just the words you speak, but the energy behind them. Your intentions are sacred. Your prayers are impactful. Your declarations are creative forces. You're not speaking from fear anymore. You're speaking from knowing. And that's what manifests. That's what builds. That's what draws in the miraculous. Your healing journey wasn't linear. It had ups and downs. You had relapses, setbacks, moments of doubt. But you kept going. You chose growth over comfort. You chose truth over illusion. And now, that consistent effort is bearing fruit. The new you isn't perfect, but it is powerful. And most importantly, it is present. You're here. You're aware. You're awake. You've become your own home. You've learned to comfort yourself, to speak life over yourself, to encourage yourself. You no longer seek outside what you've built within. And that's why your energy is unshakable. You've become whole. You've become anchored. You've become you, fully, unapologetically, beautifully. This is just the beginning. The deeper you go into self-understanding, the more power you reclaim. You will continue to learn, to evolve, to embody. Every step you take from here is guided. Every lesson is layered with purpose. You're becoming more attuned, more intentional, more divine. And with every breath, every decision, every act of alignment, you are affirming this truth. You will learn that being chosen was never about comfort. It was about calling. And calling requires transformation. You weren't called to be liked. You weren't chosen to be popular. You were chosen to disrupt, to awaken, to elevate. And that path demands sacrifice. The old version of you would have settled for surface-level acceptance, but the evolved you knows that truth often stands alone, and you're not afraid of that anymore. There's a quiet boldness in you now. You don't announce your moves. You simply move. You don't seek validation. You simply embody. You don't fight to prove your worth. You simply know. This is the energy of the awakened chosen one. You've been refined by fire, not flattery. And that's why what you carry now cannot be faked, copied, or manipulated. You will learn that your inner peace is non-negotiable. You're no longer available for energy that distorts your alignment. You used to say yes out of guilt. You used to dim your light to keep the peace. But now, you are the peace. And anything that disturbs your inner equilibrium is redirected, not entertained. That's not selfish. It's sacred. You finally see that your energy is a divine resource, not a dumping ground. The new you sets boundaries without shame. You no longer apologize for protecting your space. If someone perceives your self-respect as distance, that's their lesson to learn, not your burden to carry. You've spent too many seasons being everything for everyone and nothing for yourself. That cycle ends now. This version of you is balanced. This version of you is healed enough to say no without guilt and yes without fear. You will learn that leadership starts within. You don't need a platform to be powerful. Your choices, your presence, your resilience, they inspire more than your words ever could. You carry quiet authority. You lead by example. You operate from authenticity. And because of that, people are watching you, not just what you say, but how you live. You've become a blueprint for transformation. This level of growth will trigger those who refuse to grow. Some will accuse you of changing, and they're right. You have changed. You've evolved past roles you were never meant to stay in. You've left behind behaviors that were never truly you. You've stopped settling for less, because you now know your divine inheritance. And if that makes others uncomfortable, so be it. You didn't come here to shrink. You came here to rise. You will learn that you are no longer available for people who love the idea of you, but not the reality of your transformation.